Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Hate Everything podcast starring your hosts, Johnny Bratsby.
And Tracy Kellett.
What's going on, Tracy?
Well, I was just Googling how to do a coin flip, and I don't know if you guys saw, failed miserably.
She's working on it.
I'm working on it. I wiki-how'd it.
We're going to have to get you in the gym.
Which
We have to get you in the gym to work on them coin flips, strengthen that thumb.
I know, my thumb, it's not, you know what I mean? My opposable thumb strength, low.
I can see when you put the coin on there how hard you're trying. And I think that's the issue.
Actually, you're in my head. You're just in my head over it. He's in my head. I'm going to be the best coin flipper in the entire world by the end of this podcast, which will never happen, obviously, because look at all of our
You'll never
subscribers.
win a championship. You're never going to states.
God damn it.
So I see you're wearing an outfit.
It's not an outfit.
It's an outfit.
It's celebratory garb.
Celebratory, which is an outfit.
So it's my birth week. It's Twacymas.
Okay.
Twacymas when I'm drunk. It's Twacymas. So I
don't like Twacymas. I like Twacymas.
We'll call it Twacymas for the podcast. So guys, I celebrate my birthday for an entire week. And I have a Christmas tree. It's a pink Christmas tree that is erected. It is covered with Baltimore Orioles ornaments, as well as one of Dolly Parton. And I rock this little outfit. I have a little sash, a little birthday bitch sash. And
Are you going to wear that all week?
Yeah, probably.
All week?
Probably, yeah. Just drop in randomly and see if I'm holding true. Yeah.
I'm going to hold you to that.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold. And you two at home, if you're listening, we'll put her address at the bottom of the screen. Pull
Just
up.
drop in.
Make sure that she's committing.
But you do have to bring me a
the bit.
gift. So here's the thing.
Commit to the bit.
I get presents under the tree as well as in my stocking.
Okay.
I have a stocking that's also hung, and I get just little goodies throughout the week.
When it's my birthday, I barely celebrate it.
Oh, we celebrate it. My kids, up until very recently, this is awful. Up until very recently, we would go to the Outer Banks for my birthday for the whole week, which is ridiculous. If you guys, I mean, that's over the top. I will admit to that. In Crown.
I thought a Christmas tree and sash and tiara for a week is a little over the top.
Also, the tree has been up for like 2 weeks. But my kids thought that fireworks on the 4th of July, they thought they were for me.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. You're just telling all these lies.
I know.
You got two little bubble boys in there.
I know.
They're going 4th of July. Look, everybody's doing fireworks for Mom.
We would be out in the Outer Banks, just in our little beach house, just watching the fireworks. And they were like, how'd they know you were coming? It's like, well, I contacted the mayor of Kitty Hawk.
Are you going to wear it to work?
Yeah, I mean, Thursday.
Okay.
So Thursday is Habitual Offenders, which is the Tracy Kellett birthday experience. So I am going to be wearing this.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Friday is my
going to be a
actual
shit
birthday.
show?
Yes.
How bad of a shit show is it going to be?
So here's what I would like for us to host it together, and you still do your time, but we can talk about that later. But
Okay.
I think that would be a fun shit show.
I'm geared up for it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be less
I'm
of a shit
drinking
show
water.
than
I'm
me
drinking
just-
water now.
Yeah, me too. I have my Coors Banquet. No, I think that would be fun because if both of us got a little drunk, or if one got drunker than the other, I think it wouldn't be as messy.
I think you would have to be drunker than the other.
That's true. I've seen you on stage very drunk.
I do pretty well.
You do great.
I do pretty well when I'm wasted sometimes and I get up there.
I don't know how you do it either because I just get so tongue-tied.
No,
When
I
I have a
get
microphone in my
rockin', baby.
hand and I'm drunk, I either scream, my pussy's hanging out.
No, what happens is I'm so narcissistic when I'm drunk and I have all the attention. I'm like, oh, y'all want to see me dance?
Yeah, you do dance a lot when you're drunk, and you do a lot of like a lot of this. I don't know what this. You guys can't see it.
I
but
do
it's
a lot of rhythm movement. It's a lot of rhythm movement,
and a lot of this. There's hands.
It calms me down. It calms me down when I'm doing a lot of rhythm movement. If I'm like on too many, if I'm too messed up, and I start having like that inner panic attack.
Right.
I start
You
doing
just dance
this,
it out. Oh, double up.
Get those heart palpitations down.
I just love. Next time you get really drunk, I'm just gonna play Gloria Estefan in the Miami Sound Machine and just see you get down.
Right.
See you get
It's
down.
gonna be on.
So we're excited.
So yeah. So how you've been working at Looney's for what? How long now?
I think like 2 months.
2 months? It's
Yeah.
only been 2 months?
I think so.
Damn.
I think so. It
right.
feels much longer
So I've been meaning to ask.
because I miss being on the other side, just getting drunk.
No, like being a waitress and having to like sit through multiple shows all the time.
Right.
What are you picking up, or is there certain things that you're noticing, just like from features or like headliners, where it's like, oh God, or
Yes.
like, and because here's the thing, I feel like when you when you work there, it's almost like watching, because a lot of people don't change up their sets, right? A lot of people do the same thing.
It is all the same. It's always all the same, which is actually really it's reassuring for me because, of course, I am still, when you compare me to like another feature or another headliner, I usually am the baby in the bunch. So when I'm doing all of my same shit, I get really in my head like I should have more time. And then I see somebody go up, a headliner that's been doing it for 25 years. And not only are they doing the same material that night, but like last year when I went and saw them, they were doing the same material. And it does make me feel really good. You know, it makes me feel really good about myself.
Well, I'm saying, do you have, are you getting a chance to like be super analytical of shit because you get to see the same joke like 4 times in a weekend and you're like, oh,
yeah,
he did this a little bit different or they did that a little bit different.
Absolutely. And I think honestly, so I mean, you and I had talked a little bit earlier about like the difference in like the types of comics where like someone is like really, they're good, they're thinking the right way about comedy.
Right.
And another person is like taking the low hanging fruit, but they're just better on stage. But honestly, what I have learned is that it's the audience. The biggest hang up for so many comics is the audience because you can tell when someone's comfortable and it's just so much more
when someone like loses the audience.
When the audience is tight, it just your body language changes, the way that you deliver something changes. It's like I mean, and of course I can't compare it to myself because I mean I've been in front of a tight audience, but I just feel like sometimes I'm in my own head no matter what. But like to see someone who you know is a veteran, to see them get tight and to see them lose faith in their own material, like that they know crushed at like the Boston Comedy Festival.
Right.
All of a sudden that Looney's Comedy Corner, they're getting like a tight butthole. It really is just all about the audience. And I love it because I'll be out there and I'm like, ooh.
Right.
And I don't hear a lot because you are busy or whatever, but then they'll come around to the bar and they're like, ooh, tight crowd. And it's like, we knew.
Check my pocketbook. I know they're tight.
Aware. Yeah, I made $7 on that party of 30. Yeah, I know.
No, but that's cool. It's, I mean, I've always, like, when I first started, I thought it'd be interesting to work at a comedy club, but now I'm way too far in the game for me to want to work at a comedy club. Just because I just couldn't do it.
I know that. And honestly, for me, it really is. I waitressed at the Golden Corral. That doesn't count. I was 14.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
That's the best comedy club in
The
America.
GoCo. It is the best comedy club. That is the church of the living, okay? But I wanted to work at a club because I don't understand all the back work. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what goes into running a bar. I don't know any of that.
Right.
So, like, if one day I did want to open up a club or, like, run a club or put some money into a club, I want to know the ins and outs so that when shit goes sideways, which every night shit goes sideways, I know exactly how to handle it. So I do like that aspect. But, I mean, my time has been cut. Like, I can't get called in to host. When somebody bails out, I can't be that person at the bar that he taps on the shoulder and has me do 15 real quick. You know, so that sucks. But it is interesting to see the comics, just the changes.
Right. Have you noticed any bad habits of people or like bad habits like across the board?
I think the only really bad habit that I've seen is drinking.
Really?
It's really just drinking before going up.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
Yes.
I can't drink on stage.
I've never been able to do that. I think I tried it once, and I also in that same set tried to sit on a stool.
Yeah.
And it was retarded.
Dude, I get so it's so funny every time. Look, and I have to not bring a drink up there with me.
Right.
Because I will grab that drink about 4 to 5 times.
Well, you also do a lot of this. When you have a beer in your hand, I've seen it happen twice, where it's just like, because you're so animated.
Right.
But then you just have this object. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just so funny.
Yeah.
It doesn't take away from your set, though.
No, I feel it. No, I know it takes away from my set because I notice it.
Oh, there you go.
Like, I notice it so much. I'm like, fuck. I grab the beer because like, now I'll be able to get a drink after this.
Right.
And then I'll tell the joke and I'll be like, all right, I need to put this down.
But it helps with pacing.
I'm about to throw my hand.
Right. But it does help with pacing, I feel like, which is something that I need help with because when I get nervous in front of tight audiences, I go really fast.
Yeah, you just start slanging them.
Yeah, I like ding 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 boom hour. Ding 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 ding. So I feel like it would probably help me to do it, but I just feel like I'm so uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
I would end up spilling it on myself. There is a stain on the stage from me spilling a beer.
Oh, geez. Leaving your mark.
Yes.
Leaving your fucking mark.
And I was like, it was like my first host gig.
Have you had a terrible table that's just the worst? What's the worst table you've had since you've been there?
Okay, the worst table that I've had it was actually just last weekend. It was this guy. It was like a biker guy, and he came in. It was like a party of 6, but he came in with these 2 girls, and I went over to serve them, and he was out at the bar, and I was like, oh, what might he like? And they were like, oh, he went to the bar to get a drink. And I was like, oh, just let him know, like when he comes back, I'm gonna serve him. So I go to get their drinks, and I come back, and they were like, yeah, they said the bartender said that they wouldn't serve him because the waitress should have already been out here. I was literally at the table to seat them. He just stayed at the bar to get a drink.
They created the
issue. So he sits down and he's pissed off. He was like, the bartender wouldn't give me a drink. Are you going to give me a drink? And I was like, of course. I get their drinks, whatever. I made it a double complimentary, double for him. I run it back. When I was getting the drinks, I'm venting, of course, because I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I was like, I went to the bartender and I was like, why are you setting me up kind of thing? And he was like, that's not what happened. And I trust the bartender. But the guy who was making food was like, oh, I know that guy. Tell him that Drew said, I'll send him a shot for free and that'll make up for the 25. And he was like, he'll know what you're talking about. And I was like, okay. So I go and I tell him, and he was like, I don't know who you are. And I have no fucking clue what you're talking about. You're crazy. Just bring us our drinks.
He said you're crazy?
Yes. So for the rest of the night...
How hard is it to not lose it?
Very hard. I mean,
because I would have been like, oh, since I'm crazy,
I mean, last night...
I'm going to get it wrong.
You know what happened last night with the physical altercation that I had to get between that.
That was one of my favorite guys to watch.
Yeah. So, but for the rest of the night, that biker guy, I would go and I would like ask him what they wanted, and he would just be like another or whatever, and not talking to me. He's giving me like hand and arm signals, so I'm giving the drinks. But after I gave the drinks, he kept going like this. And I was like, okay, so you don't want any more drinks? And he was like, no, be back in 10 minutes. So, but he would look at me and go like this.
That's the international sign for 10 minutes.
I think he's cutting my head off. Like that's the international ISIS symbol minutes, for Tracy. I'm a journalist and I'm about to get my head cut off. That's what this is. 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. So it was just weird. And of course, last night it was the first altercation that I broke up.
Yeah.
Which apparently no other female in Loonies has broken one up. So come on down to Loonies.
That was funny. Like I walked in and the show had started and they were talking about it. They were talking about it as I'm walking in, and then they pointed at me. "Are you're gonna help me, right?" And I'm just like, okay, but sure. I can't say no.
Right.
I can't say no. I can't be like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Because then I'm a bitch. You know what I'm saying?
I made a joke. I made a joke because there's Jay and there's Eric, these two very tall people.
Right.
And then there's Johnny just pulling up the rear.
Look, I got a good base. I was like, did he get
tapped because he's black?
I got a good base. Jay's not that much taller than me, is he?
Yeah, Jay's really tall. I think Jay's almost as tall as Chris.
Oh,
Production,
wow.
Would you agree with that? Yeah.
But no, that was
It's
funny.
okay. I think I'm as tall as Chris, so I got you.
But no, it was funny, like, because I'm sitting there, and, like, he's in the showroom. And so I go out there and be like, all right, let me see if I can pin this guy. And as soon as I walk in, I just hear a guy go, that was funny. And I go, I wonder who that is.
Staunch supporter of Eric Henderson.
Dude, it was so funny because, like, every joke Eric would tell, he would follow it up with, you're killing me, man. And I didn't know if he was, like...
being sarcastic?
No. It was, like, the way he was saying it. It was, like, either he's, like, this is funny, right, or, like, I'm bored.
Yeah, of course. Like, yeah, the sarcasm.
You couldn't tell. It was so fucking...
So this guy...
But he was so drunk. That was the thing's like, I know he might be trying to be sarcastic.
Right.
But he's also really drunk, and he could be having a good time.
I know. And honestly, I love that for the audience, because the audience members, I hope they were buying in and were like, oh, this is funny. That guy thinks this is hilarious. Maybe I'm the fucked up one for not laughing.
I can just imagine being the audience member that has to sit, like, in front of him.
I know.
And just know that that's behind you.
Yeah.
Because Eric said he went and talked to him, like, twice.
Yeah.
And so I could only, like, imagine being the people sitting there. It's like, hey, man, can you fucking quiet down?
I know.
Can we get you out of here? And then, like, the people in front of him are like, oh, God.
Did I ever tell you about it was like my second or third, I'm trying to think of, I think it was my second. It doesn't matter. I was looking at production, but he's not going to know either. It was Spencer James, the guy that works the cruise ships.
Okay.
He's like a pretty boy kind of thing. I hosted for him, And so in Looney's, there's like 2 risers. So it was like on the right riser, and there was a big party down on the floor. And the guy on the riser would not shut up. Like he was just very loud. Eric had gone and talked to him a couple times. He's very loud. And finally, and he's right behind this table. So finally, the guy that was on one of the guys in the party on the floor, he like stood up and turned to the guy and he was like, "I'm a fucking cop. Shut your fucking mouth now." The guy on the riser hits him.
Oh, turn me up.
And it is a full-on fist fight.
Turn me
at Looney's. So
That's a great dude.
So I'm out.
Hold on. That's a good dude to hear. I'm a fucking cop.
Yeah, I'm a
and then
fucking
you're like,
cop.
Word. Wham!
And this was before we hated the police, guys. So I'm out watching Spencer, of course.
Right.
And I just run to the bar and I'm like, fist fight! And then I run back into the showroom because I don't want to miss a thing.
Right.
And Spencer, this is my favorite part. Spencer is sitting on a stool on the stage, sitting by the dock of the bay the entire time. Just the entire time, guys. Did not miss a beat. The audience starts singing with him. Like there is a full-on brawl. And then finally, like the goons show up, which I don't know where they keep the goons. I feel like it was just a bunch of those red monsters from Looney Tunes in Looney shirts. They fucking show up out of nowhere. I work there. No clue where he keeps them. I guess maybe the mop closet. They run out and they break this fight up. Spencer finishes the song. They're long gone. They're long gone. It's a very long song. And he just sits and finishes the song, and then he just goes right into his material. And it was beautiful.
That's hilarious.
He was like, just have a song that you want to sing. And I was like, also, why was it sitting by the dock of the bay?
You just bust into song as a fight breaks out?
Yes.
God, that's probably some shit from his childhood.
That's a big dick move right there.
No, that's some child trauma.
Just like as if he's in his closet clutching to a teddy.
As his mom and dad are just wailing it out.
Watching the time roll away. Oh,
That's a defense mechanism.
It was beautiful. And the crowd just they ignored the fight. They were singing with him. And then it was just like, next joke. And it was fun to watch.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good way to handle that. I felt like, we could have got the drunk guy out a little bit faster, but it kind of, the fact that his friend tried to leave is really what got him out.
Of course.
I was like, and that was my thing. It's like, dude, if you bring somebody that drunk somewhere,
you do have a responsibility.
Like, you're not responsible for what they do, but you are kind of responsible to get them out.
Yes. Here's the thing. If you and I ever go somewhere and I get super trashed, if you didn't get me to a safe place, I would be so mad at you.
Right. I'd be like, Jesus Christ.
I feel like if anything happens to me, you're complicit.
Now, what is there a point? Is there a point where you're just going to be like, hey, I'm leaving you? I'm like,
well, here's the other thing.
Is there a point where I can be like, hey, Tracy, I'm trying to get you gone. I'm trying to get you out. You're fighting me.
That's like a toddler move, right? When you're like, you got to get in your car seat and they're like, no. And you're like, okay, I'm going to leave you here. And you turn around. I feel like that's exactly what that guy just did. So I feel like it's a beautiful tactic, maybe. I'm just saying, if anything were to go south, I would blame you for anything that happened.
I have left people before.
I knew that was coming. You know what I've done? I've picked people up when people left them.
No, I've left people before when they make it. When they make it an issue. When they make it like a, we gotta fucking, I'm gonna fucking you. What are you gonna do? I'm like, all right, man, see you later.
Right.
I'm not hanging out with this.
Yeah, well, I guess that's the other thing is I don't get combative when I'm drunk. You know what I mean? I'm just a little, you know me.
Yeah.
When I get, I don't know why I felt the need to explain myself to someone that's seen it 50 times. The worst thing I do is try to act not drunk.
Right.
That's annoying.
I'm fine.
You're like,
Tracy is not fine.
Tracy?
Tracy is not okay.
She has not opened her eyes in 15 minutes.
I think she's asleep. She's leaning against the bar. Got the wobble monster going.
So that's like one of the craziest things that I've seen. And of course, last night, that altercation.
That was a good time.
So that drunk guy, he tried to get into a fist fight with a table of mine. And he's like swearing at them. And the guy at the table has had enough. And now he's standing up and now they're going at it. And I'm just like, hey, I'm the asshole. I'm the one who fucked it up. I fucked it up for you. I'm so sorry. But what I can do is get you an even better table because this table sucks. Like,
listen to you.
Follow me.
Listen to you.
Follow me.
Well,
and then
you have to treat those drunk people like they're fucking children.
Yeah, and then he gave me a hug. And he was like, thank you so much. And his buddy slipped me a little cash. So.
No, when we went back in to get him, he had fallen like into a table.
Shocking.
He fell onto a black, like I walked in as he like fell into a black woman. And she was just like, oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord.
I had to walk up and I had to grab him. I was like, hey. I was like, I'm sorry. And I was like, come on, time to go, buddy.
Time to go, cool breeze.
Right, before you piss this black lady off. It's going to be a fucking
That would have been
problem.
way worse, and I would not have gotten in the middle of that. I would have enjoyed watching it.
Right. I was just waiting for it. I was waiting for it. Hallelujah. Cheers.
Cheers. Okay. So I brought something up to you earlier.
Gotta get the fire.
Oh, you can get the fire. So Eliza Worchestshire.
Way to support women in comedy. Can't even say their name, Tracy.
She was on the Joe Rogan.
It's Schlesinger.
You want me to fuck up his name too? She was on the Joe Wogan podcast recently.
Joe Wogan.
And he said that Joe Biden has no idea what he's doing.
Which I agree with.
Has no idea what he's doing, and the way in which he worded it, when you listen and then you read it, and of course listen to it because reading it fucks people up when you read something without hearing the inflection.
Who wrote the article?
I would have to pull it up. I have no idea where I was reading it this morning.
Well, see, and here's all right. So
can you give me the fuego?
Here's my issue, and this is not like judging you. It's one of those things. It's like if you're reading the article is always a hit piece.
That's literally what I just said.
It's always a hit piece.
I literally just said, listen to it and don't read it.
I'm just saying, like the article is always a hit piece for no reason.
Because here's the thing about writing is you just throw something in quotations, right? And that's what they said. Absolutely. You can take anything that I've said so far, like Eliza, and then I sound like a dick when really you just know I'm retarded and I can't say my R's. So her name is real tricky.
Look, and then whoever writes the article about this will be like, Tracy Kellett said retarded.
I said retarded twice. Now 3 times.
Right.
I'm telling on myself. Can we get a retarded count here, production? Because I'm doing that way more than burping today because I'm sober.
Right. You're saving it all for Twacymas.
Twacymas is going to be a ball and a half. But... So again, like we were saying before you derailed, watch it before you read it, okay? But the way he says things, that was good. It kind of, okay, so here's what I'm going to ask you because I'm not a huge Joe Wogan fan. Is he a Trump supporter?
I don't know. So my dissertation of Joe Rogan, I think he's a lot like me where it's like, I don't think anybody knows what they're doing. I think he appreciated Trump's entertainment factor.
Yeah.
But he has criticized Trump. He's criticized Trump enough for me where I'm like, it's not like, he's not like, bro, he's still the president.
He's not a staunch.
Yeah, he's not a QAnon.
Okay.
He's us. He has the wide view. He's critical of everybody.
I've been compared just physique-wise to Joe Rogan many a times. So I totally get that he's us. Yeah, absolutely. Just square shoulders, just buff. You know what I mean?
Right.
Annoying. I do have partially shaved head, so it all comes together. And you should watch me when I watch UFC.
You should get a bald cap and be Joe Rogan for Halloween.
I'll just shave it. I don't care, bro. I'll just shave it. That sounds like a lot of work.
But it would make it funnier. I think a bald cap is funnier than a bald head. You know what I'm saying?
Except it's on a woman.
But still, no, I think I still think a bald cap would be funnier.
So, Joe Wogan, and I'm going to keep saying it like that now because now I have like freedom to just slip into my speech impediment. No judgment.
We're going to train you to just talk with your speech impediment.
Dude, it would happen. You have no idea. It's hard for me to say R's. Like I have to actually think about it.
Oh.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
Except when you say retarded.
Retarded.
With a hard R. Retarded.
It's the only hard R I say. Never mind. I'm not even going to say what I was just about to say. Okay, so he kind of came across a little Trumpy. And he kind of, I think, set Eliza up because she kind of was at a point where she had to agree with him.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've read enough about her and I've watched enough of her comedy to kind of know that that's not who she is at all. And it just kind of felt like a trap. It kind of felt like a trap.
No, it just happens. Sometimes, look, you ever been in a conversation where a person is speaking so passionately?
And you're just like...
And you're like, I can't counter anything they're about to say.
Right.
And
But here's the difference. The difference is that we're not at Cleats Sports Bar. You're on a podcast in front of millions of people. You know what I mean?
But at the same, it's still a conversation. If you get talked into a corner, you're just kind of like, all right, yeah, man. Yeah, totally.
So he kind of set her up, I felt. She made some good points about Trump because he basically said that Joe is the reason why the country is in such disarray is because we don't have this strong leader. Here's what I'm going to say real quick about that. I don't think, like, when I think strong leaders, okay, Winston Churchill, I'm not going to put Sleepy Joe up on that list.
I think Barack Obama. That's about, but even that for me is totally clouded behind the fact that he was the first black president.
Here's the thing, and I love Barack Obama too. I disagreed with some of the stuff that he did.
I was never critical of Barack Obama.
I have some criticism of Barack. I've read his books. I do love Barack. All I want in the entire world is for Barack Obama to call me.
Say it was a mistake.
I want him to call me and just go, baby girl. And that's all I want, and I want him to hang up. Baby girl. That's all I want in this world. But never mind that. I get...
If you're listening, Barack.
If you're listening, Barack, I know that you're one of our 24 subscribers. I can't see everyone if they're not made public. So, Barack, I hear you and I see you. I see you. I have a T-shirt with you on it. It's weird. It's weird to still wear a Barack Obama shirt. Never mind.
No, it's not. Wear that Barack Obama shirt proudly.
I get that Sleepy Joe is not like this like strong leader. I get that he's not great he's not a great orator. Like, I get it.
I love that you're about to defend Joe Biden while using Trump's nickname for him. Okay.
I like calling him Sleepy Joe. Actually, I'm going to tell you this. It'll be in the Open Door podcast, Open Door Conversation, why I'm calling him that. It'll be Open Door behind a paywall because I'm going to name names. But anyway, I get that he's not this like strong. It's not who you want to see on Mount Rushmore. You know what I mean?
Come on, man.
But I think the reason why the perception of why he's not a strong leader makes it's the same argument of why he's not a strong leader is the same argument for why he has been a great leader, because everything that he's doing it's not sensational. It's not it's not crazy. It's not in like Daily Mail. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like,
BuzzFeed's not doing an article
he's strengthened our relationship with Germany. Like, that's not that's not exciting. You know what I mean? It's not clickbait. So it's so weird to me when people are like, oh, he's not a strong leader, because it's like, that's exactly why he's the president that we needed. We needed someone to just chill, to do their shit, to get shit fixed, and just move on. Now, he's not doing a lot of stuff that he said he was going to, and that's not what I'm trying to get to.
I need a loudmouth.
I'm just saying, oh,
I need a loudmouth.
And that was Joe Rogan's point, and Eliza, I fell into a trap. I don't think she wanted to say some of the things that she said or agree with some of the things that she said, because the perception, I think what she thought she was saying is not the perception that we get when we watch it or read it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I feel bad for her.
I don't. You should know who you're talking to.
And they did go into cancel culture. And
I'm so tired of that conversation.
I am tired of it too. And I will say they're on our side about cancel culture. I just think it's really funny so they basically were talking about cancel culture, and they were saying that Americans, we just want to hang somebody. It's like the witch trials. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We just want somebody to burn at the stake.
We want sacrifices,
and she said, you know, like the more famous they are or the more good looking they are, it makes it even more fun. And I will say this, it's so weird to me to basically say that Trump was this strong leader and then lead into cancel culture.
Because they canceled the fuck out of the president.
In that way.
Listen,
yeah.
That was the biggest fucking sacrifice. And now look, this is what's happened. We sacrificed the biggest thing we could sacrifice.
And we mean big.
And now everybody's like, so
what's next?
Yeah. Well,
Tony Hinchcliffe?
Right. We got Trump. We got him off Twitter. Who we getting next? It's like, bro, they took down the president. Got fucking banned off Twitter while he was in office.
By the way,
that's beautiful.
Do you know, is Parlor still a thing?
Oh, yeah.
God, I want to get on it. I want to get on it and just fuck with people, and I've seen it on TikTok.
I wouldn't fuck with people on there.
I would. So
I would just observe.
I would observe, and then when I got my confidence, I would insert a little something. I would insert something that people wouldn't know whether I was being honest or not, like the drunk guy last night at Looney's. I want people to be like, is she being real or is she being sarcastic? I want to have that
This
question
is the
mark.
smartest idea ever.
Yeah, I want to have that question mark at the end. You know what I mean? But I do want to observe, and I just think it's so fun. I do want to learn more about QAnon. Not learn more. I want to laugh more at QAnon.
I want to get in.
I do, because I love conspiracies. So I'm like, why am I turning? Not saying.
There's a great HBO documentary.
When I say I love conspiracies, I'm not saying I believe them all, but I love some of them. Like, they're just so ridiculous. Like, I want to know more. QAnon is one of those for me, where I just feel like it's fun. It's footloose, fancy-free fun.
All right, so I've been watching this documentary about QAnon. It's on HBO. It's pretty
Please
fucking
don't
good.
cancel me, Denver, because I said QAnon is footloose, fancy-free fun. It's funny.
It's
Okay.
the shit. I don't care what it look. What did I post the other day? Someone posted that new Netflix show that's coming out where the people are dating and they're wearing like the animal costumes. Have you seen this?
Is this the furry thing?
No, so people don't
Oh,
judge.
is it Masked Singer, but for dating?
Yes.
Yes! No, I haven't seen this.
Right. It's literally the most, I'm looking at this and I'm like, yo, this is the worst fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. I posted it and I'm like, I'm joining QAnon.
Isn't it weird that, like, we as Americans have just agreed that we're so fucking superficial that now, in order to actually get to know somebody, you have to wear a fucking furry costume?
Right.
Like, isn't that such a weird thing? Like, whatever happened? Just getting to know somebody.
And then you know what sucks is like I'm watching the trailer and then there's this one couple and they're on a date and they're like in this horse carriage thing. And this guy's like, what, you guys ain't never seen interspecies dating before?
Okay,
And I'm
that's
like-
hilarious.
And I'm like, that guy fucking sucks.
That's clever. But I will say, you know what? So I think I saw a still of this. Read my Daily Mail on Snapchat every morning, 6:30 to 6:45, and then I go back to bed until noon. It was like they're wearing costumes, but like wasn't one of the girls in like a skin tight costume, so you could see she was like a size 2 with like huge tits.
Oh, I have no idea.
I'm
I didn't
pretty
pay
sure.
that much
Okay,
attention to it.
we're gonna pull it up.
I'm telling you right
I
now.
can't do it right now. I would get so distracted if I pulled up my phone right now. The Orioles are playing. Yeah,
That's why I forgot you like baseball.
So I know you totally slipped your mind. So I just wonder. I'm like, I think the girls should have all been in like Mr. Potato Head costumes,
No way.
or the guys should have cod pieces. Like, meet me halfway.
fake dicks?
Yeah, no, not fake
Oh.
dicks. Real. I want to see, is it
No.
real or not?
How about-
If you're gonna see my mammaries, I want to see how big your cock
Let's
is.
flip it on the women. I want a dating show.
Where the women wear cod pieces?
No, where the dudes, they all are wearing shorts and it has like a fake dick in there.
Okay.
It's like a dick.
So
and
you mean
have
you
to-
want the men to catfish the women?
It'll be like, what was that, the Joe Millionaire show where everybody thought they're dating a millionaire?
And he wasn't?
Yeah.
Which is hilarious.
So how about you're dating a guy that has a big dick?
And then
then
it
it-
turns out
That it's just a regular
it's a
dick.
tinky wink.
I'd pay to watch that.
I would watch that.
I would watch the fuck out of
I
that.
do think it would be great if we had a dating show where the men were so sexually objectified, where the women have to wear like
Hold on, look.
Amish dresses.
Before you even get it, the women who go on those shows.
Oh, I'm not saying they're not asking.
deserve
I'm not
it.
saying that they're not signing up for it. I'm not saying that those women don't know what's coming to them. I guarantee those women have to sign 17-page fucking contracts. Okay, I'm just talking about the legal side, okay? I'm just saying it would be so great if there was a dating show where the men just had to be just sexually objective.
They do it all the time.
Name
Dude,
one.
every bachelor, every bachelorette, that's all the same. Look at
They do that?
Yeah, they
So
put the
I've never
oil
seen
on
The
them.
Bachelor or Bachelorette because I have standards.
You don't have standards.
There's
you literally
obviously-
just said you would watch the show where the people are dressed up in animal costumes dating. So you don't have standards.
I'm just saying. Also, but you know what? It does remind me of. Here's what would solve it all. Bring back Flavor of Love.
Oh yeah.
With
Yeah.
the clocks, he gave out clock necklaces as his, not roses.
Who would be the new Flava Flav though?
Fred Durst. Is he married? Is he happily married? There's no way
Probably
Fred
not.
Durst is happily married.
Right. If he's married, he's
I say Fred Durst, if he's married, he still does the dating show. He's just, oh my God, that would be amazing. A VH1 show called Side Piece. It's just some like washed up Motley Crue member.
I want the nookie. The nookie of love.
The nookie of love. VH1.
Huh?
Where are you?
Right. Give us a contract. We'll set it up. We'll fucking set it up right now.
Maybe Eliza should do one.
Well, we need to do a Trump one. Trump needs a dating show.
Again, the side piece thing lands. It adds up.
I think we could do it with Trump.
Oh my God. And also, I'm just waiting. How long is Melania going to wait? How long is she going to wait before the divorce papers drop?
Well, she's probably trying to outlive him.
Do you think?
Or you think she probably gets some sort of cut? She probably doesn't get it all, but she probably gets some sort of cut when he dies.
Well, she already had an arrangement with him when he was elected president or was running for president. They had a financial arrangement because she held it over his head, and that's why they didn't originally move to the White House. How she and Barron had stayed up in New York because they had to figure out this financial arrangement before she moved into the White House. It was an appearance thing.
Oh, Jesus. What a crazy fucking president to
right?
have.
So I just wonder, if she's waiting to see if he gets elected when he runs again.
Yeah.
Because he's going to run again.
I think he'll get elected again.
That scares the fuck out of me. And we talked about this earlier,
me.
and I was just like, what would I do if he got elected again? And I honestly, I don't know.
Because here's the thing. Look, you got to just enjoy your life.
So here's the thing. Chris and I, production and I, my husband and I, have talked about moving out of the country. I was just defining you in every possible sense of the word. My fuck buddy and I, we talked about moving out of the country. And it's one of those things where we had explored a lot of countries. We were talking about New Zealand. And then literally during Trump's presidency, because there was it was an influx of Americans moving out of the country that they like strengthened down, they hammered down their fucking rules. So now basically for us to go to New Zealand, we would have to hit the lottery because you have to come with money. I don't have any money, bro. I don't have any money because we don't have any Patreons, you dumb fucks. But isn't that wild that like Australia, New Zealand, all these fucking countries, like Costa Rica is the only one that hasn't done it yet, but who fucking wants to move to the jungle?
You don't want to move to Costa Rica?
Chris wants to move to Costa Rica.
That'd be fun as fuck. We get a nice little tan out there. Drink out of coconuts.
Look at my tan.
Do they have coconuts in Costa Rica? Okay.
I have it. Look at my tan.
Yeah, that's tan.
One trip outside.
If that's tan, I'm Wesley Snipes. Okay. You look like the bottom of my feet.
I'm black guy palm black.
I'm African palm. Huh? African palm.
That sounds funny and fantastic. OPI, get a nail polish color right next to eggshell.
We're full of ideas. Somebody pay us,
Please.
damn it. Jesus Christ.
So that's all. I
think if Trump gets elected again, we'll be fine. It'll just be a shit show. Look. We have been circling the drain, and nobody really wants to fucking admit it. We've been circling the drain for like the last 10 years. I don't think it's any one president's fault. This is just kind of the culmination of what we are.
I feel like I will say this.
This is capitalism. This is the consequence of capitalism being the main vein of your society.
I hear you. This is what I have to say. I will say this. When you have a president that fucks up, and I'm not talking about his overall just spewing hate. I'm not talking about that shit because we talked about it earlier. And when you're just a mouthpiece for people that actually want to say that shit, they're guilty too. You know what I mean? So I'm not even getting into that. All I'm going to say is that when you are the leader, I mean, are we still the number one country in the world? I don't even know.
We haven't been number one.
I think Canada. I think China.
I think we're superficially number one.
Yeah, I think we're like number one because we paint it on our face during the fucking 4th of July. And
we
that's
scream at people when we're out of country.
And we wear American flag fanny packs when we're traveling.
We go to the Olympics and just cause fucking problems.
Even though our Olympics have like the lowest gold medal count recently. I'm not even getting into that. All I'm trying to say is that when you do break relationships, strong, healthy relationships, Angela Merkel wanted to fuck Barack Obama. I mean, she was balls deep in America. And then Trump comes in and he calls her like some like lesbian faggot or whatever he called her. And that's not me using hate speech. A, I'm half gay. And B, it's what he said. It's a quote. I just think
I would like to see that quote.
When you ruin the relationships that we have, what we as a country have with other countries, that's a problem for me. That's a huge problem because you're turning your back on your allies. You know what I mean? And we have a huge target on our back. Yeah. You got to keep those relationships strong. It would be like me turning my back on you.
We're bullies. We're bullies. That's
no,
the thing.
We
have guns.
are not bullies.
We have guns pointed at everybody,
and
everybody knows not to fuck with us.
We were a bully for... Every country has guns on everybody.
Yeah, but
every country has guns on everybody.
Are everywhere.
So I'm just saying, I think when you fuck up those relationships, it's a problem. That's problematic. So
I think we're problematic.
So
as
kudos.
A country. You know, all right.
To
so
Sleepy
you know what?
Joe.
You know what I say?
He can sniff me anytime.
You know how we view Vegas?
It's just a great time.
As Vegas is just kind of like
Fremont Street.
It's just this fucking crazy. It's just like a fucking like a web ad. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like fucking junk mail. I feel like that's how the world views America.
Wait, you think the world views America as junk mail?
No, like the world views America the same way America views Las Vegas.
Just shit.
It's just like
fun.
It's
fun for 2 days. Like it'd be great to hang with them for like 2 days.
Right. It'd be great to fly in and see how crazy it is.
And then fucking get out.
Right.
Okay, that's actually pretty
accurate. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get that 100%.
Because it's like, I was thinking when we were coming back from Vegas and I had heard the story about the people living in the fucking sewers. I was like, yo, that's fucking crazy.
Right.
People living in the sewers. But then I imagine like people in Germany and France are like, yo, you know America has people living in shipping containers?
Yeah.
Like people are building homes out of shipping containers.
I do think it's...
I think we're flashy. I think everybody's like, oh, that looks like a good time.
I do think we're like a bedazzled fanny pack. That's what America is to the rest of the world. Just
everybody else is like
annoying. We're practical. I mean, we are practical, but really fucking annoying.
Everybody else is like,
and
the
we break
hobbits
after
in the
a couple
Shire.
years.
Everybody's like the hobbits in the Shire, just living their peaceful countryside lives, learn how to farm, and then they come over here and it's like, yo, fucking look at this volcano, bitch. You guys want to see people put on pads and just fucking hit each other for like an hour? You guys like beer? You guys like cocaine? Do you guys like fucking action
Do you like
movies?
cocaine in your beer?
Do you like fucking Vin Diesel? Have you ever seen a Vin Diesel movie?
I love fucking Vin Diesel.
And
I love him. We can talk about Pitch Black.
I am just a simple German father.
Yes, spatzel? Can I get some spatzel?
Where can I get food? What kind of food? You want 4 burgers at once?
You want Oreo mayonnaise? I got you.
Oh, you're from Germany. You like bratwurst? You like bratwurst stuff with cheese and fucking jalapenos and fucking French fries? You want to get stoned? You want to get fucking stoned and just drive around? You want to get a DUI?
You know what's so crazy too is that here's the thing, we sound crazy, but then you go to like Italy and shit and they have porn on TV like normal hours of the day. They just have
that's because
porn.
they can handle it.
They
you
can
know
handle it.
saying?
Yeah, Americans can't handle it. We have people that are addicted to porn. Addicted to porn?
Turn it off.
Turn it off. Turn it off. Dude, it's not the bottle. It's not an eating disorder. Shut the fuck up.
You're just jerking off,
Turn
nerd.
Pornhub off. Bro, you have sores on your dick that you didn't get from a prostitute. Turn the porn off. Turn the porn off.
Pay $50 to live out a porn. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, even 20 for a hand job,
right,
and then you can relive for the rest of your life.
If you find the right chick, give her $50. Just pretend you're my sister. Jerk me off. Don't ask any questions.
And put it in the bank.
Right.
Just make a cash deposit.
Can I record it with my phone?
Isn't that so funny?
I won't put your face in it.
Here's the thing. We're gonna get shit on for that because I feel like whenever there's
porn addiction.
Whenever
shut up, losers.
Here's the thing.
Shut up. No, you know why we're not gonna get shit on? Because they're not watching this.
I know no one watches
off.
us. Maybe you're jerking off to me. I took the tiara off. Let's really double down. I'm playing into a fantasy.
So nobody's jerking off to me?
No.
Nobody's jerking off to me?
Do you
I am
want
a beautiful
Do you want
man.
someone to jerk off to
I
you?
would love to find out someone's jerking off to me.
Guys, if you're jerking off to Johnny, it's the Hate Everything Podcast at gmail.com.
Let me know.
I need coordinates of where you're located. I
need
need your name.
I need
your phone number. I need to know what you pictured Johnny doing. I need details.
I need the ego boost and also something to hold up against my wife. Look at the fan mail.
It's one
Look
thing
at the fan mail.
from like John Doe at hotmail.com.
My name's Marcus.
Oh, God.
and I enjoy Johnny's voice. And I touch myself every time.
Okay, here's the crazy thing. If someone was just listening to us and emailed and was like, I was jerking off to Tracy's voice, are you kidding me? Get the fuck out of here. You know
like,
how
he's a
annoying I am?
murderer.
I'm like Sonic the Hedgehog, if you ever heard him laugh. I am like, Sonic is my laugh, just fucking a million miles an hour. But can't actually get the job done without tails. You know what I mean?
Stop jerking off to porn and jerk off to me, America. I'm the porn addict's golden child. We're going to do an ASMR bit after this. Wama ding dong.
Johnny's been listening to jazz. So
Don't be mad. Look,
I love jazz.
I found a great jazz radio station, and I don't think I'm going back.
Oh, that surprised me. As long as I don't have to listen to Childish Gambino.
Wow. Cut the recording. You just attacked me very personally.
I'm kidding. I actually do enjoy Childish Gambino.
As long as I don't have to watch women have sex with each other.
Okay, first of all, you would never stop watching that, okay? And I can't believe you didn't go for ska. The other night, we were listening to ska, and I felt like you enjoyed yourself. You were singing along to one of the songs. You knew all the words because it was
I did not know all the words.
No, it was just the one thing. Everyone else is an asshole, and you really put your back into it.
I did.
It was fun.
I enjoy good music.
It was a great song. So, Real Big Fish, shout out. So we were talking about something earlier, and we didn't do this, and we have to do this because I feel like it's the content that our viewers want.
Okay.
Because they want to find Big T.
Uh-oh.
Just as desperately as we do.
In the world is Big T? Where's my guy?
Where is he?
We need him back. 4 more years.
Oh my God. So I don't agree with that sentiment, but I do feel like
you
we
don't
need to
agree
find
with
him.
that sentiment?
I don't want him in office, but I do want him back in the news. I want him back in the news.
I want him back on Twitter.
I don't want him back on Twitter. I want him maybe have another TV show.
What does he think his TV show is just going to be Twitter?
Maybe he could actually be the host for where Melania finds a new side piece. Let's do it like this.
You can't fuck my wife. No. You're a great guy. You're a great guy.
Your wife is a dog.
Great penis. Amazing penis. But you're not fucking my wife.
You're not fucking my wife. I'm not fucking my wife. You're not fucking my wife. My wife is unfuckable. So let's find him. We talked about this before, guys. If you've watched a prior episode, we don't know where he is.
But we can
know
find out
where he's not.
Get the map out.
Don't do the Dr. Seuss quote.
Bust the map out.
Okay. Again, this is not going to be pretty.
Don't tell me what to do.
God, he's going to do it.
Calculatus
God
eliminatus is the best friend that we've got. Because to find the missing something, we have to find out where it's not.
Shout out to production. I have pulled this map down now 3 times. I broke it. So we put a little 550 cord up.
Yeah, if you can't see the amount of duct tape that is on the corners. Because Tracy just manhandles the map.
Look, beauty and grace. Okay. So where do you think he's not, Johnny?
You know where I don't.
I've never used the Sharpie. Can I use the Sharpie
can
this
use
time?
the Sharpie.
Okay. Oh my God. Oh, I'm very excited.
We're switching it up. She's
Here's
going to make the
don't
worst.
pick some place where I don't know where it is because I'm going to look ignorant.
Oh. Well, then I'm definitely going to have to pick a place that you don't know where it is.
Okay, where do we think he's not?
I don't think. Period. I don't think period.
Do you think, should we go C this time?
No, I'm saying.
We're sticking to land.
He could be in Greenland, right?
Absolutely.
He could absolutely be in Greenland. It's close enough to America.
Okay.
What about Bolivia?
Oh, fuck.
She found it very quickly. I was trying to throw her a loop.
I knew
there.
it was in South America.
I didn't know it was in South America. I just said it.
I don't think he's in Bolivia. I don't think he would go to Bolivia.
Why don't you think he would go to Bolivia?
Because if he was going to go anywhere, he would go where the Nazis were. And where was that production?
Oh, you think he's a Nazi?
Chile? Where was
Chile.
No, just give me use the cue card. Production, by the way, bought cue cards. And right now, I just want to put him to good use. Okay, I want him to be proud. Is it Argentina? That's where it is. So he would go to Argentina because that's where Hitler was after he faked his death and he moved to Argentina, and that's where all the Nazi gold is. So I think he would be there. I don't think he's in Bolivia.
Okay.
Okay, are you comfortable with marking that off?
I'm comfortable with marking Bolivia off. That's a solid case.
Okay.
What a terrible ex.
Boom.
Your ex went all the way into Brazil. You're just crossing borders and invading places.
So we don't know where he is, but we know the Big T is not in Bolivia. Do you want me to flip it back up?
Yeah, we should flip it back up.
Fine. Okay.
Look.
So that's the conclusion of where in the world
is Big T. We're going to find him eventually. And you ripped it again.
No, I didn't. Done.
Speaking of world events, one of my favorite things in the world is coming up.
Is it really one of your favorite things? Like truly?
I really get into it.
Okay, are you a Summer Olympics or Winter
Summer.
Olympics? Okay,
Summer all the way.
I do love ice skating.
It's boring. The Winter Olympics is bullshit to me.
And
it's
I love bobsledding because
yes,
obviously
I guess you
cool
saw
runnings.
Cool Runnings. Everybody loves bobsledding. But black people never win it.
John Candy.
You know what I'm saying? Black people never win it. So, anyways,
I don't think that's true, but let's sally forth.
I'd Google it. Google challenge.
I don't. Production, can you Google it? Just
how many black people have won bobsledding?
How many? No, I thought we were talking just about like Winter Olympics in general. How many black people have won medals in the Winter Olympics?
No,
you literally?
I'm saying bobsledding.
Okay, production will pull it up. I do think that would be 0.
I think the Disney movie was exactly that. A Disney movie.
Do you know that is the only movie? That's like the movie that I play to like gauge if someone's a serial killer. You know what I mean?
Runnings?
If you don't cry,
Oh
do not cry when they lift that bobsled up and walk across the finish line, you're a fucking serial killer. That's my standard.
That's not
and it scares
emotional
me
enough for me.
because one of my kids didn't cry.
That's not emotional enough for me.
Oh, it's so emotional to know the backstory and how he didn't make it and he should have, and then they worked together. Fuck. I'm going to cry right now.
That's all about the Goofy movie. I just want to be a part of it.
Okay.
But anyways, the Olympics are coming up.
The Olympics are coming up.
Disregarding COVID, because COVID is ravaging the area that the Olympics are in right
Here's
now.
the thing. COVID's over.
It's over for us.
COVID is over.
It's over for America.
Which is so crazy because
and we have the cure. And we're selling it to the highest bidder. We're not like we're gonna help you out. We're like who?
No, other countries.
Who wants to pay
other
for
countries
it?
have the vaccine.
They don't have the vaccine like we had a vaccine.
Which is so crazy to me because they believed in COVID so much more than we did.
Well, this is the beauty of America. Once you start fucking it, look. Once Vegas realizes ain't nobody playing the slot machines,
they're gonna push it.
We're gonna
They're gonna
figure
go to
out
the
how to
strip
get
club.
people. We're gonna figure out how to get people back on these slot machines.
We're giving them the shots in the fucking strip club.
We're going to give you these fake shots and be like, look, it's all good. Get back out there.
Yeah.
Oh, the one that's killing you now, that's Delta. That's COVID Delta. That's Delta. That's the Delta variant. Everybody can still get the Delta variant. Blah, blah, blah. Look, come on, bro.
Isn't that wild that people who have been vaccinated are still getting it?
Yeah, bro. I know a couple people who are
Isn't
vaccinated
that
and still
wild?
got it.
So far, I felt okay. And I'm not going to punch a block of wood. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
I still think you need a second shot.
Oh, of course. I'm getting it.
Okay.
From
From your counterfeit first one.
I know that. It didn't count. Dr. MoMA at the Satellite Hotel.
MoMA.
I can't believe, why did I do that?
Because
Why
you're reckless. You're a stand-up comic. We don't make good decisions.
I did say this to Eric last night. Before we actually go into the conversation, the owner of Looney's, I said this last night, there was a guy who was celebrating his birthday. Okay. And he had his girl there, and he was with another couple. And I go to serve them, and he was like, hey, it's my birthday, so keep the drinks coming. And I was like, awesome, I'm going to grat you and make 18% of your fucking high-ass bill when you're too drunk to tip me. Right? So I take him, and he has 2 drinks. 2 drinks.
Wasted.
And he calls it, and he starts heckling the headliner. So I know he's fucked up, okay? Like, I know it's real. And I was just like, fuck, like those 2 drinks I would have taken in like 15 minutes.
Right.
And I said it to Eric because he's heckling the headliner. The owner is trying to gauge if he needs to intervene. And I was like, bro, he's only had 2 drinks. Like that's like in 15 minutes. And he was like, isn't it wild how good you feel when you know you're an alcoholic? And I was expecting him to be like, when you're a badass. But he said alcoholic. And it cut to my core. It cut to my core.
Alcoholism is a stripe to look. It's almost like a medal that you get.
I felt good about it. I was like, fuck this guy. He's 230 pounds.
Look, here's the thing. Alcoholism is almost like a Purple Heart.
And I earned it.
Once you get it, you either just like, God, fucking, you know what I had to do to get this. You're like,
Yes!
hey, check this shit out, huh?
I know, right?
Huh?
No, and immediately he called me an alcoholic. And I was like, that's not what I was going for.
But
And it caught him by surprise.
We're great alcoholics.
We're doing better,
We're
guys.
amazing alcoholics.
We're doing better. We're a great hang.
We're entertaining.
Entertaining the masses.
We don't fight anybody.
We don't fight.
We do talk shit.
We cause a little drama.
We get mouthy.
Yeah, we do. We get a
mouthy.
little sassy.
I get
a
but
little
that's,
sassy.
Hey.
I do wake up the next morning and I wonder how close the person I was talking shit about was to me when I was talking shit about them. Because I know they were probably within earshot. And I don't know for a fact. But I will say a lot of people don't like me, and maybe that's why.
But here's the thing. I don't think a lot of people don't like us. I think we put that in our heads because we're just so fucking out there.
Also because I don't like them. And I think that's the bigger thing is like when you hate everyone, you just assume they hate you back. And then they're nice to you and you're like, whoa, this is
you
bad.
fake piece of
shit. Yeah, I know,
shit.
like you're so fucking fake. And then it's like, oh no, you like me. I don't like you. I just didn't tell you. I'm the fake piece of shit.
That's
It's
usually how it
me.
works.
It's me. I don't like you. If you're wondering if I'm talking about you, I am.
Probably.
Okay, bobsled.
Okay.
A black woman has 1 gold. Is that what that says? I'm not wearing
Gold,
glasses.
1 black woman.
And 2 black men have 1 silver.
But never first. Always trying to keep the black men down. Moving on.
Do you think if your mom, I'm going to ask you this, if your mom was in the Olympics, what event would she be in? Because your mom to me is the strongest black woman. Like she to me is like the epitome of what a strong fucking woman, period, let alone black. What Olympic event do you think she'd pick? Because I'm thinking shot put.
No, she wouldn't do no fucking shot put.
You don't think so?
No,
She'd fucking medal immediately. Practice.
No, she would need to, my mom would need to do something that's like main event.
Like in your face.
It has
like
to be
decathlon.
It'd have to be a main event of
She'd
the
win.
Olympics.
I think she went without practicing, just out of spite.
It depends. It has to, whatever event has the most fanfare, she'd be on that one.
Ice skating.
Right. She could do ice skating. She could do that one.
She's a badass woman. All right, moving on. So here's why we bring up the Olympics. Outside of it being Johnny's favorite thing, which you really get into it?
Oh, I get super into it.
Do you watch like the opening ceremony and all of that?
I don't watch open. I just get into the sports.
Got it.
I'll find the sport that I really like. It changes like year to year, but I'll find like the one sport I'll fucking follow all the way through.
Here's what I will tell you. The only sport that I was like super, super into was Team USA, the Magic baseball team or basketball team.
Look, I watched it. Look,
That was amazing.
Unless I think America's gonna lose in basketball, I won't watch basketball.
I get that.
Because it's one of those things like we have like just fucking, that's our sport. You know what I'm saying? That's our sport and it's in there and we fucking wreck face every time.
I love to watch it. I do love to watch it.
This year might be a good year to watch because we don't have a lot of the bigger names there.
Right.
So we could lose.
So, in baseball, we have like the World Baseball Classic and it's outside of the Olympics. It's its own thing. And I will say watching that is amazing. It sucks because a lot of the bigger names sometimes don't play because, of course, you're risking injury and things like that. Same with like the All-Star game and the home run derby and stuff like that. But I will say, I can't remember what year it was, but Manny Machado and Adam Jones from the Baltimore Orioles. Manny Machado, you guys know he plays on the Padres. He's an amazing player. You know that if you watch baseball. I don't have to explain it. But they played on separate teams because Manny played from his home country. And he hit a fucking home run. Like it was out. And Adam fucking Jones caught it. It was outside. He was literally over the fence. And he like backbended and caught it. And it was beautiful because there's this clip where Manny Machado He just shakes his head and he goes, fuck. And he runs back into it was a cool thing because they were teammates at the time.
Right.
And that's why I love the World Baseball Classic because you have a bunch of people that are teammates playing against each other. And that
happens in the Olympics with basketball too, because there's so many different people from like different nations in the league. So they all go back to their home countries and represent their home countries.
I loved that. That was a really cool thing to watch.
We have a lot of people in the NBA right now that are big names and not from America. So this might be a good year to watch Olympic basketball.
I will watch it. Again, I love that shit. But anyway.
No, I want to watch, I've been getting into, I've been watching a lot of the trials and stuff for people getting in.
Right.
So,
Fuego.
The fucking hammer throw. I was actually talking to the Colemans about this. I was talking to the Colemans about this at the bar last night.
The Colbits?
They were like, he asked me, how do you get into hammer throw? Right?
It's track and field. You've been doing it your whole fucking life.
He goes, how do you get into hammer throw? And I go, well, you have to be bad at every other track and field event.
Okay. I love the sentiment behind it, but
because
it's not true.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that like catches my eye with the hammer throw is like where
it's very like world's strongest man.
No, where is the athleticism in it?
Oh my God.
No, because if you look, it's more physics than it is.
No, it's not, dude. Here's the thing about.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so when you watch a hammer throw, they're spinning, and it's about releasing it at the right time and the right angle.
Oh, yes.
Right. So where, like, is it really? At what point? Because I feel like no matter how strong you are, you can
It is the same argument about people shitting on baseball about saying
the hammer
it's
weighs
easy.
this. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying the hammer weighs the same. Like logically, my brain is like, where is the athleticism? Because if the hammer weighs the same and you can just get it going with the same momentum, like how much stronger do you have to be to get the same spin as a strong person? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying. Strength does go into it, but do you understand when you're talking about the physics how hard that is?
Yes, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to say like, oh, it's not a real fucking thing.
No,
I'm like the key element of the hammer throw is like I feel like it's more physics than it is athleticism. It's more of a brain like timing and release thing.
But here's the thing: the mental aspect of any physical sport is just as problematic for so many people as the physical part is. You can look, Chris Davis, you probably don't know who this is, the strongest Baltimore Oriole player there is. He's been eating shit. He has the biggest contract of any Baltimore Oriole player, and we've benched him for the last 3 years because he went on this crazy fucking hit spree. He had like 65 fucking home runs in 2 months. And now he's just eating shit because it's all mental. He's huge. He's got big, meaty thighs. He's buff. He's this huge fucking guy.
But couldn't a fucking person who weighs half of the amount of somebody else kind of?
But so that's what I'm saying.
Couldn't they do the same thing as a hammer throw? Can they get the same distance on a hammer throw as
probably
someone who's twice their size?
I don't know. I think if you can master the mental, maybe. But I think a lot of strength goes behind it, and that's why when you see like the women who do like the actual field events when they do shot put and hammer throw and stuff like that. These are big girls. Because to get momentum, what do you need? Weight. To get the momentum. That's I don't know a lot about physics. Production is nodding his head like I'm a genius. But that's part of momentum is you have to have the weight behind it for the throw and the push, right?
But I feel like
Are we getting into inertia right now? Yeah. Oh, we're getting into inertia, baby. Baby, let's go.
I just don't see how the weight being the middle thing that it's spinning around is throwing it further. Do you know what I'm saying?
So I think now, okay, production, I think now, so you said inertia.
Look, now we're getting into physics class.
We're talking about inertia.
We have totally derailed and we're getting into physics class.
So, oh God, I don't even know how to phrase this. I'm going to sound ignorant, so I'm not going to say it.
No one thinks that we're scientists, by the way.
Okay, disclaimer. For all of our 24 YouTube subscribers who thought
I barely passed physics.
Thought I was an astrophysicist, I have to break your heart right now. I did not have to go to physics because I joined the Army after high school, and they put me in all basic classes for my senior year.
I had to be in physics to get my advanced diploma.
Nope.
And I barely...
Advanced diploma?
I got an advanced diploma.
Oh, I'm learning something new about you.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
So an advanced diploma, you have to have...
Almost ashed in my beer again.
Is fucking... I don't even remember the requirements. I know you have to have two...
But why did you have to get an advanced diploma?
Because I was like the amount of the classes I had taken up until my senior year had me on track to get an advanced diploma. So they were like, you might as well just go ahead and finish and get the advanced diploma.
So I was in AP classes until they found out I was joining the Army. And then they were like, you don't, like literally, and this is one of my favorite memories. You have to go through your guidance counselor and all that. And he was like, so what are your plans? Because I'd taken the SAT. I scored, it was like a 12 something. I don't fucking know what good is, but it was decent.
Yeah.
And he was like, so what colleges are you looking at? And my sister had just failed out of a private college. It was very expensive and my mom had to work 3 jobs. And my mom just looked at me and she's like, figure it out. I don't have any money for you. So I was like, I'm joining the Army. And he was like, my junior year. And he was like, you're just joining the Army? And I was like, yeah. Yeah, like I took the fucking test. Like I can do like one of the highest jobs they have. I'm going to language training. I'm
language training.
Thank you for
noticing. It's Twacymas, baby.
It's Twacymas, baby. I'm going to language training. I'm jumping out of planes. And he was like, okay, so next year he literally put me in like the most low. It was like basic math.
Yeah.
Basic language. Where like I had been in AP classes my whole fucking high school.
Yeah, I fucking I turned down one class because they put me in statistics and probability. And one of the things I realized, and this is like where my observation brain really kind of saved my ass, is we go into class and the teacher that was the teacher for it, he was my like sophomore science teacher, and he fucking hated me. Like we hated each other.
I wonder why.
We would get into it all the fucking time. I just didn't like him. He didn't like me. It's just one of those things.
Oil and water.
Right. And so we get into the class, and then one of the things in his opening statement was, there's no right answer in this class. He goes, there's just the answer I think is best.
Oof, big dick move.
Right?
Big dick move in
Because
front of a
it's
bunch of kids who don't know what they're doing.
No, because it's statistics and probability.
I get that.
I got the concept.
Right.
But I also know that
was gunning for you.
Yeah, me and this guy don't mix. So it was basically like our first homework assignment was like, if I wanted to carpet this entire room, he goes, come to me with the best price, or like it was something like that. It was some weird fucking assignment like that. And I stayed up for like 2 nights doing this shit. And then I
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did, dude. I would like, because I was like, I'm gonna fucking.
You do strike me as someone, you're kind of like Chris in that like you do meet people and you understand the part of their brain. Like I'm not like an analytical brain. And I feel like actually it's like, I think statistically like more males are better at math, which is not, I don't know that it's actually like true, but I think just like through history, that's been the case. Like your brains just fire differently. So I would see you as a more analytical, a more puzzle-based person, where I am a more emotionally based person.
It was a puzzle, and I also have that chip on my shoulder. Oh, you don't like me? I'm gonna make an answer so good you have to fucking.
Did he fail you?
No, I ended up coming in like fucking 7th. It was fucking, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I read the other people's, and I was like, yeah, I'm dropping this fucking class.
So real quick, production is telling us that we're close to time. But here's the thing. Last week we recorded a podcast, and I don't know how much we're going to release because I drank 3 bottles of champagne. And I don't know what I was talking about. So we're going to probably go a little long on this one, which I think is okay because we haven't even gotten to the point that we wanted to get to.
Right. I think I love what we're talking about.
I do too. So that's what I'm saying. So keep going, and then we'll get to it. Production, are we going to have to pause and then get back into it? We'll see what happens. Okay, so go back to what you were saying.
But yeah, so I ended up dropping that class, and then I took physics instead.
And you failed physics.
I didn't fail physics. It got to a point where
checked out.
Yeah, I checked out because it was the end of the year. I was just doing enough to pass. Like I was just ready to fucking be done with high school.
So I think when we go back to inertia, so like when you talk about like roller coasters, inertia is the force that holds you back, correct? Okay.
Right. There we go.
So I brought up.
Can we get the big Family Feud buzzer right there?
Hold on. I got this, which means I'm kind of right. So I feel like inertia and shot put, you do have to have the mass. Hammer throw. Samesies. You have to have.
Wow, samesies.
I'm talking about field events. Calm down.
Samesies.
Calm
It's
down.
not the same because you're holding a handle.
Okay, you have to have the mass.
You're holding a handle with the hammer throw, and you're actually pushing something with the shot put.
You have to have the mass behind the throw, and that's inertia. So the larger the mass, the stronger the throw, right?
What about leverage? Have you not watched Pirates of the Caribbean?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. I have, actually.
It's about leverage, mate.
Oh God.
It's leverage.
By the way, Free Johnny Depp.
If
Free Johnny Depp.
If Johnny
he didn't do
Depp,
anything wrong.
If he can get out of a cell with a simple plank of wood, just by the positioning of the wood, could not that same Johnny Depp hammer throw something as far as an Olympian hammer thrower?
I think we're talking about two very different things. I really do think we are. And I might be wrong here, guys. If you're watching and you want to correct me, feel free. But I think we're talking about very different things.
I went really deep in the hammer throw conversation with the Colemans. Like, I was like, could you imagine?
Oh, Jesus.
I was like, could you imagine, like, the inner city kid?
Whose dream?
No, it's not his dream. He just realizes that's his talent. And everyone's around like, what you doing, man? No, fuck, you want to go do that hammer throw shit? We about to move these packs.
I would love to see that on like an episode of Law & Order SVU. Like they go to like see a pickup game, to find the drug dealer who knows the prostitute that got murdered. And his little brother is outside practicing hammer throw.
No, that's how he finds out that he's good at it. Is like the cops come. And he's like, we need to get rid of this kilo of cocaine.
Law and Order, SVU, hit us up. We got ideas.
He wraps a belt around it and he starts spinning in the backyard and launches it over a house.
I think that's great.
And then his fucking brother's like, look, man, you got a gift.
It's a very deep conversation. As someone is just like putting like packages of things on the back of the truck in the background because it's always happening. As John
Let me tell you something. The street life ain't cut out for everybody, Jerome. Some of us don't have a way out.
So
but you can hammer
throw
like a motherfucker. Let me tell you something. I know your father ain't around anymore. But you got
no male figures to look up to.
You take that to the field.
And I can't.
You imagine that hammer is your father.
And Chris Maloney ends up arresting him for rape.
Right.
I love it. So here's why we brought up the Olympics. And are we going to can we just talk as long as we want, production? How much, really?
We got 4 minutes.
You want to pause and then go back? Okay,
back.
we're going to pause because we brought it up for a reason and then we got into Johnny's fucking high school career and everything like that.
Look, don't be mad. Don't be mad.
I'm not mad at all. So we're going to pause and then we're going to start back up as if nothing happened.
I am the more educated one on the podcast because I have an advanced diploma. I have paperwork to prove that I am more advanced.
We're comparing SAT scores later.
No, we're not.
Oh, okay.
I have an advanced diploma.
So we're going to hard pause and then come right back.
Actually, I think seeing as I am the more intelligent one on the podcast, we should take a recess.
Jesus fucking Christ. He's going to filibuster the fuck out of the show from now on. We're going to caucus real quick. We're going to caucus.
We're going to take a quick recess. And we'll be back with further discussions of the intellectual mind of an advanced diploma holder.
Mary Twacymas. So we had just taken a brief recess.
A brief recess with my intelligent advanced diploma brain.
Because Johnny is much smarter
I'm way more intelligent than most people.
So we were talking about the Olympics. And the real catalyst of the conversation was we were talking about the first trans female, Laurel Hubbard from New Zealand, is going to be weightlifting. She's going to be in the Olympics for weightlifting. And you and I have talked about this briefly, very drunk.
Okay.
And we're a little less drunk right now.
I'm still going to be ignorant, though.
Same. I tried to pull up science, by the way. I tried to pull up the exact amount of testosterone, and we'll get into that in a minute. But I just wanted to get your take. Because you have a very unique take on the situation.
I do?
I think so. I mean, have you heard other people say what you've said?
What, that they need to have a separate Olympics?
Thank you.
I'm totally down for segregation.
I literally said that. I was like, you get that that's like modern day segregation, right?
I don't know. It's just a weird thing because it's like you have to
no one is listening to this and thinking that you're coming from a hateful place.
Nobody has figured it out
yet.
Which,
by the way, I don't know that you guys don't know that. I know that.
Adults have not figured it out yet. So it's such a messy thing.
So I mean, can I
because
counter?
I don't know the science.
Can I counter and say that scientists have figured it out?
Okay.
So again, I wasn't able to pull up how much, but before you're in a professional sport, when you're trans, they take testosterone levels. Mm-hmm. So if your testosterone level is below a certain amount, and there was a runner recently who came out too high on testosterone, and she has been banned from the Olympics. She was a sprinter, okay? She was banned. And I don't know her name, and I apologize. I'm sure she's following this podcast. I'm sure. In between her 18-hour training days. They have testosterone levels. So when the standard is a certain amount of testosterone, when you come in below that, then you're a female.
Okay.
You're a female. So I guess the real argument that other people have outside of the science, because of course, if you follow the science, it's fine for them to compete, for the trans women to compete. The real argument now that I'm seeing on Twitter and obviously these other reputable sources is the overall mass, that men naturally build more mass in a certain way than females.
So isn't that?
And I'm not saying I'm not disagreeing.
Wouldn't that be an issue, especially in the category of weightlifting? If they spend 10 years as a man and then they build up their, body weightlifting in those 10 years, and then they take enough of the blockers to get their testosterone down, do they not have a 10-year jump as a man?
So I feel like, and I'm going to look at production for a minute. I feel like testosterone has to do with mass. Is that correct? So I feel like the reason why they go off testosterone is because it impacts so many things. And I was a runner, and I know you guys don't know that looking at me now, which I cannot blame you. But I was a distance runner for a very long time. I was on some sponsored teams. I would do sufferfests, which are crazy runs over a couple days without sleep. There was a runner that was accused of being trans. And I still don't know if that runner has come out. I haven't followed it. But basically, the world championship of this sport started doing testosterone tests before a race, before their big races. So I don't know. I kind of rely on the testosterone because I feel like that is where the science has led us. But I don't know about the mass aspect. I don't know about how you've built things up. I don't know enough about it.
I think so. The Olympics thing doesn't really bother me.
So you don't mind that there's going to be a trans woman weightlifting?
I really don't care.
You really don't care?
I really don't care. I don't care if it's the Olympics. Clearly, the Olympics have said it's okay, so whatever. It's the Olympics' choice.
But
my issue is when it comes to the high school sports. Because I just feel like it's still just so kind of up in the air.
And they're not doing the testing.
Yeah, the high school sports is just more, and I don't want to. This is gonna it's just more based on feeling than it is any sort of science in high school.
I see what you're saying.
People are feeling like they're doing the right thing. They feel like this is what they're supposed to be doing, and it's kind of and maybe
you
it's
think it's
from,
empty virtue signaling.
Empty virtue signaling, and I feel like it's almost counterproductive towards building women up, especially during a time where, the high school is where you get fucking broken. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, not just that, but I read an article recently about how there was a very prominent high school female cross-country runner. And she started a petition because she was the fastest runner. She had the fastest times. She'd gone to state, she'd gone to nationals. She's killing it. And there was a trans female who started competing against her and beat her by 20 seconds every single time. And she lost any scholarship opportunities.
Yeah.
So I don't know about that. And I don't know enough about the science. I wonder if at a certain level, maybe how hard is the testing? How hard is it? Financially, how hard is it?
But then we're going to get into the thing of so we're going to spend all this money to testosterone check high school sports instead of actually put funding into schools.
Okay, but and I hear that, but at the same time, I think we do want to bring people in. I don't want to look at trans females. And here's the thing that drives me nuts is that you don't hear about trans men. We only hear about trans females. And I would love to hear the other side of it. I would love to hear about the trans men in high school that are competing. I would love to know where they're ranking. Well, you know what I mean?
I want to know how hard.
Because they are getting testosterone.
What's the science in that? Is how easy is it for them to build after they start getting testosterone?
So that's what I'm saying. Is I want to see see the counterpoint.
Could we see a trans man rise up to
And that's what I want to see. I want to see the counterpoint, and we don't have those conversations because it's not as sensational. This is sensational, and I think there's more to the story than what we're being fed. You know what I mean? So I would love to hear that. I would love to hear how testosterone does impact that population. But at the same time, I feel like when you're in high school and you're going through this, and it's not just high school, obviously there are younger people going through this, and we don't want to exclude. We want to include, right?
Exclusion builds character.
But I would love to hear the counterpoint, and I never hear it. You read these articles and you never hear about the trans men.
Yeah.
I would love to see a trans man in the Olympics. I think that would actually be amazing. I think that would be amazing.
Well, could you argue that maybe that's the issue? Is that the other side isn't doing the same thing?
I'm sure people would argue that, but here's the thing. When it's not in the news, we're creating that narrative instead of actually seeing the numbers. And when I pull this up, dude, I Googled this, and you told me not to, but I Googled it about Laurel Hubbard, which, by the way, I want to see her compete, and I'm excited. I'm excited for the Olympics, like we talked about before. I would love to see a story about the trans men, and I would love to see. I would love to see the science behind it. Because if the argument is the testosterone, then why aren't we seeing trans men rise up above? So that, for me, as much as you're saying, is the point, and that could also be the counterpoint.
Could that be but if the study does come out where it's like they can't do it, could that be? I mean, I feel like that would impact things. Be a negative impact towards trans women.
And I think that would suck too, because again, when you talk about high school girls, trans girls, and things like that, we don't want to exclude them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I would love to see an article about it. And I just wonder why we're not seeing the articles. I'm wondering if there is a spin factor. If we want to make the narrative that trans women...
You want me to go deep in on this? You want me to go deep in on this?
Go deep.
It's still an attack on toxic masculinity. Because if you're talking, look, I know trans women are women, but it's a man transitioning to a woman.
Trans women are women.
So it's another attack on... like almost making men the bad guy, because it is a man transitioning to a woman and then competing in a woman's sport. So it's like, oh, look at these men, they don't have enough. You know what I'm saying? If you're coming at, like, that's kind of the angle my brain sees, like the public taking it. Like that's almost like the underlying theme. It's easier to attack trans women because they are coming from man to woman. Do you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
do you know what I'm saying?
I see that, and here's the thing. I'm going to break it down even more basic. I'm going to take it out of sports because I hate to agree with you on anything.
But do you get what I'm saying on that?
Here's my tiara. Here's what I will agree with you on a very basic level, and that you don't, when you talk about the bathrooms, we're going to talk about bathrooms. You never hear about trans men. We're afraid of trans men going into the bathroom because they're going to show their pussies. Yeah. But you hear about trans women, and they're going to show everybody their dicks.
Because dudes suck.
Which, by the way, no one is showing anything in the bathroom. When's the last time you fucking went to the bathroom? And
yesterday, I pulled my dick out. I was like, does this look good?
Horrible things happen to women everywhere, okay? But if you are a trans woman, the last thing you're looking to do is show your dick, okay? That's not, you've literally lived your whole life to hide your dick.
But doesn't it feels like a attack on trans women usually is more geared towards shitting on the man still.
You know what's so crazy to me? Here's what's so crazy to me is that when you talk about toxic masculinity, and I'm hearing you right now, I need you to know that I'm hearing you. When you talk about toxic masculinity, we are not talking about men who have gone through a life of strife, a life of questioning yourself, of feeling outcasted. You know what I mean? Like, trans women are they're more feminine than I am. Like, they have identified themselves and addressed something so deep within themselves that I have never done. These are not the people that are going out to hurt someone. When I think about toxic masculinity, I'm thinking about men.
First off,
aggressive white men.
Hold on.
I'm so glad I said it because we're going to fill this 20 minutes, God damn it, because we fucking failed last week.
Hold on. You can't make that claim. You can't say trans women are more feminine than women because trans women... Listen. Trans women are people just like the rest of us. Just because you're trans doesn't mean you're a good person.
No, okay, and I apologize if I misused the word feminine, but I'm talking about somebody that has gone through as much as they have. Do you know how much would go into you deciding that you're a woman?
But in that same breath...
Do you know how much would go into that?
In that same breath, I can
That
still
sucks.
be a complete piece of shit
Of course.
and transition into a woman.
I have met some trans women
and
that
still,
I hate. They're
I
pieces
can-
of shit.
I can be a toxic masculinity trans woman.
Okay.
Like I can be like that is a possibility.
Do you truly believe that someone who is looking to hurt people, that is out for power, because that's what a lot of toxic masculinity, it's rooted in power. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Do you really think that somebody that struggled with their own gender identity falls into that category?
Yes. A million times yes.
I don't know that I agree with I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
All right, then I'm going to take it from this angle. The angle is being the victim. If you can be as big of a victim, you get power over people because you are the victim. So if you can be a perpetual victim, I'm not saying trans women are victim, but if you are that person that loves being the victim, you can be a victim of your own gender identity and transfer that when you transition and still be that piece of shit.
I feel like we're talking about the power triangle, and I just don't know that I'm following. I just don't know that I'm following you.
I'm just saying,
okay,
just
so
because someone goes through the process of becoming trans doesn't mean that they become a better person.
Can you hand me a beer? Okay, so
You're almost presenting it to me. It's like the moment someone decides that they're trans, that they are immediately more like introspective, more like better. And like it's like no. And this was like my big first issue when it came to a lot of the LGBT stuff. It's like just because you fuck different doesn't mean you're better than other people. That is just an aspect of your life.
But who presented it that they were better? And I guess maybe let me rephrase, because I certainly am not trying to misrepresent.
No,
okay?
I'm not saying that you're saying that they're better, but you're saying it's like, do you think a person who's gone through this could still be a piece of shit?
So
and
here's
it's like, yes, dude. Think like that's.
I do think it takes a level of introspection that a lot of people don't face. Here's the thing.
But
it's not because you're forcing an introspection. It's because you know it. You know it at your core. And to know something at your core that is not in line with the norm, okay? When you know something at your core that is not in line with the norm, you're not going to be falling into the same patterns that the norm is going to be falling into. And I do believe that toxic masculinity, it is harvested. It is harvested. That certain, I'm not trying, look, I don't hate men. I'm married to a great man. I'm raising 2 great boys. It's not because I'm bi, it's because we're decent human beings. But I feel like toxic masculinity is harvested because it falls into place. When you're a man and you're with other men and they do certain things and those things are acceptable, that's when it's cultivated. And I feel like when you go through your life and you know that you do not fit into that norm, when you know that you're fighting against a tidal wave, I think that allows you the space to not fall into that pattern.
It allows you the space, but that doesn't mean you're not going to fall into it. Humans are just creatures. Dude, it's the same. I know I'm going to reference a comic book here, but when it comes to...
Oh, God. I got another one, production.
Thanks for burping through me trying to make a point. But anyway.
I love that it's me that burps, by the way. Fuck toxic masculinity. I'm a piece of shit male.
But this is... I'm going to reference a comic book here. And it's Batman's The Killing Joke, right? And the whole point of the Joker in this book is that anybody can be a supervillain given a bad enough day. So no matter how good of a person you are, no matter what you've gone through introspectively, you can still have toxic, negative traits and be a bad person.
We had talked about this before when we were really drunk. We had talked about how every single human is a villain to another human. Mm-hmm. Like, I am the villain in someone's story. You are the villain in someone's
lot of people's story.
But I feel like here's the difference. I feel like there is a difference between, and this is kind of deviating from your comic book theme, which I should read comic books, I guess. I don't fucking know. I'm just living my life. I feel like there is a difference between perception, where, hey, you hurt me in this way and you're my villain, versus you are physically hurting people.
But you are kind of like, don't you understand what you're saying? Like, because you're saying like trans women couldn't ever be like have toxic masculinity. That's like a very generalizing statement and saying that all trans women are like immune to one thing.
Okay, so
do you know what I'm saying?
So you and I have had conversations before, and
you get what I'm
not
saying
going to
with that?
dig into it, but I am going to say there are times when I have a lot of trans women in my life. I understand that God, I don't know how to say this without fucking getting canceled. I understand where you're coming from, but I do think there is a difference between just being a piece of shit human, okay, and toxic masculinity. Like, I am a piece of shit human, okay, but I'm not hurting people. And I feel like, and maybe that's a difference between some people's definition of toxic masculinity, okay? So the definition for me of toxic masculinity, like if you bro bump, you know what I'm saying? If you drink Budweiser, if you're fucking flying a Confederate flag off the back of your truck,
You can't do that as a trans woman?
I 100% believe that no trans woman has a Confederate flag on the back of their truck because they understand that flag does not promote inclusivity. I will stand by that statement. Okay, because
I would challenge
when
that.
you are discriminated against in any way, shape, or form, you understand that inclusivity is the pathway to independence and equality.
Oh, I don't. I think that there's a trans woman with a Confederate flag.
Trans women. If you have a Confederate flag on the back of your fucking Ford F-150.
You want to know why? Because there's a black person with a Confederate flag.
We're not talking about Dave Chappelle's blind black white supremacist.
No, it's a real thing. There's black people in the South that fly the fucking Confederate flag because that's their culture. That's their thing. So if that can happen, then trans women can, like, it's like, so this is where I'm coming in. It's like, and this, I don't want this to sound ignorant or fucking hateful.
No, you and I have both addressed some things. We are ignorant, but we're not hateful.
We're getting into the weeds here. This is where it comes into, it's like, oh, everything is fluid except for this. Like, you can't be like, oh, anybody can do this and be what they want, and how about this, and they can do that. But then you'd be like, no, they can't do this. They can't be this negative thing.
Okay, let's approach it.
Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I hear you, but let's approach it from a different angle. Okay, when you talk about the LGBTQ plus community, you're talking about a community that is about open-mindedness. Okay, so I feel like toxic masculinity doesn't have a place in that community. Why? Because it is about exclusivity. Like, it doesn't fit. It's a puzzle piece that doesn't fit.
You said toxic masculinity is about power, and power is something every human chases.
I think
power is just something every human chases, whether you're
don't
trans,
believe
whether you're
that.
a woman. You don't
I don't believe that.
So you believe trans women are just like, I don't want power.
I'm not saying that as a blanket statement. I'm just saying the power of saying, I went through this my whole life. I think the power in that situation it's a power within.
You don't think that can turn into something toxic? A man transitioning into a woman and be like, you don't even fucking know what I've been through.
I'm not.
You know what I'm saying?
I guess I'm just saying that it's not about the power
or here, I'll throw this.
Hurting people.
I'll throw this at you. Dude's at a bar, there's a woman, and there's a trans woman. If this dude insults both of these women, which one is going to be like, I'll take you out back and fuck you up first?
I mean, I'm a woman and I would fuck their world up.
But I feel like trans women would be more inclined to be like, hey, buddy, I'm going to fuck you up. Where women are going to be a little more timid. I
guess we are in the weeds here. I don't know the answer to that. Mentally, it's physical, it's mental, the way you identify. I don't know the answer to that. But also responding to a toxic male, because you just described a toxic male at a bar, being like, I'm gonna fuck you both up. In response to that toxic male, as a female who was born and identified as female, I wouldn't take their shit. So I don't know how to answer that. I don't know.
I'm just saying, I think the mindset that you have about it is a little...
You think it's skewed?
I think it's skewed. I think it's very generalizing, because I think that trans women can just be as bad as a toxic male. They just like and it's not like a thing of like.
I will say this:
like everybody's human. Everybody can be a piece of shit. No matter how good you are, no matter what you've done, no matter what you've been through, everybody has a story like that. But people can go one of two ways.
I'm going to say that's a beautiful stance, though, because literally you're describing equality. And we had talked about that before, where it's just like we're putting you all on an equal footing.
And this has always been my thing. Is like everybody wants to talk about equality and freedom and all this sort of thing. It's like I don't think you realize that also includes the bad shit.
I will say this.
It includes the negative shit. As much as everybody thinks, oh, freedom, everybody will be happy. No, freedom means freedom for crazy people. Freedom means freedom for psychopaths. Equality means equality for fucking pieces of shit. I mean, like you really have to be like, okay, we're gonna let you know what I'm saying?
And
like,
I get the equality, but I do think there's a difference between like the toxic masculinity and the Me Too movement and the things that have happened just because you're female versus being male. I think right now we're kind of going a little deeper, or maybe like a little more general than that. But I will say this, and I'm going to get canceled for saying this. I'm going to say this, but I do have a joke about not being gay enough to date lesbians, and I almost hate to put this out there, but I'm going to say it because I do feel like there are some other people, and I've talked to people within the community, and they do agree. So the 3 people I've talked to and have relationships with, thank you for letting me say this. It is awkward, and I'm going to say awkward when you're bisexual and you're not gay enough. You're not gay enough. It's frustrating.
So it's like what's funny is like
it's like this group that is all about inclusivity, and they're like, well, you're married to a man.
How can you recognize that with the lesbians, but also not think that could happen with trans people?
I get that.
Yeah.
I get it, but again, that's talking about inclusivity in the community versus toxic masculinity, which I think toxic masculinity is a beast. It's a beast. It's not going away anytime soon. It's not going away.
It's necessary. It's necessary.
It is not necessary. You can be a good human and not be a piece of shit male.
Necessary.
Men don't have to put people in their place. We are all in our own place. We're living our own lives. You don't have to fucking teach us anything.
Do you want to choke out the terrorist?
I'm special operations. I will choke out the terrorist.
It's going to take a toxic motherfucker to choke out a murderer.
I will fucking choke out a murderer, bro.
Then you're fucking toxic as shit. Everybody wants to be nice until that motherfucker's in your house.
Okay, God, I love the extremes that we're taking things to, because choking a terrorist or choking someone breaking into your house, choking them out is so different from hurting someone just because you perceive them as being weaker than you and taking advantage of it.
Look, you need people who have that disconnect with empathy in order to move things forward sometimes.
Bro, we're all apex predators. Like, we don't need an apex predator. You know what I mean? Like, we're all apex.
If we're all apex predators, then we're all fighting for the top.
No, we're at the top. No, literally, you're at the top. When humans are apex predators, you don't need to go higher. You don't be like, oh, I'm going to take it one step higher and rape this woman.
Oh, this is what happened. This is just society. If we are the apex predator and we are looking for the next big challenge, of course the guns turn inward. It happens all the fucking time. When you rise to the top, you don't start, and you realize you're dominating everybody, the guns turn inward and you start fighting yourselves, and you start getting your little fucking different groups off.
Here's what I'm going to say. I wish that humans were more like praying mantis, where after we fuck, I kill you. Or black widows, after we fuck, I kill you. It sounds fucking dope. And here's the thing, it's our time to shine. It's our time to shine. You guys have had it for a while. Give it to us for like a decade.
Hey, come and take it.
Come and take it.
Come and take it.
Johnny will be at Looney's this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, just ladies. If you want to come and take it, I guarantee he'll be in the men's room.
Come and fucking take it with a bunch of other toxic males.
Bring them in.
Just beating the shit out of each other, trying to figure out who's king of the stall.
So Laura Hubbard, I'm cheering for you. I'm just saying, I'm cheering for her, and I'm excited for her. I'm excited to see how it happens. I hope it is like a glide path to other trans women making it in sports. I would love to see a trans woman in baseball. I would love to see it.
I would love to see her lose just to see everybody who's backing her be heartbroken.
I will say, I was
I
heartbroken.
love Cinderella stories that don't make it to the end.
I will say this about, and I know you guys don't watch baseball. If you do, fucking email us at the hateeverythingpodcast@gmail.com because I would love to have someone to talk baseball with outside of my Twitter feed, okay?
Because I just say stuff like home run,
bunt. So
that's a double play.
And he's just talking about his sex life.
You're out.
You gotta do like the fist, like,
You know, Cracker Jack. So
I loved Chris Davis because he had this Cinderella story and he had this beautiful year, and he got popped for Adderall.
Okay. Look, hold on. Listen to me. Don't you love Cinderella stories that just fall a little bit short?
I would have.
Come on.
I would have loved it if he hadn't he fucked the Orioles. He fucked us. He took all of our money. And by the way, he's not giving any back. Like he's
I'm
not
telling
like.
you. Look, everybody loves a Cinderella story, but I love a Cinderella story that falls a little bit short.
I hear you.
When they take the shot in slow motion at the buzzer,
I get
and
it.
it bounces out. Oh,
So
you just fucked your whole season, idiot.
I get it.
You thought you were just gonna win because you had a cute story.
It does suck because he did have a Cinderella story and he had a great year and then he got popped for Adderall and he had a prescription for it, but it expired and now he hasn't been able to hit since. So I do feel like he was just kind of on Adderall to hit the ball a little better. You know what I'm saying?
You had a cute story, but this person's dad hit him for 6 years.
And that's how we got the Padres.
Well, that's been the Hate Everything podcast.
Thank you so much for tuning in. It's Twacymas. Feel free to send me a gift.
Don't send her a gift. She doesn't deserve it.
I deserve it all.
I'm Johnny Bradsfield.
I'm Tracy Kellett.
You guys enjoy your night.